Just making sure your bricks are lined up before you put water in it. It's a little hard to move once the water gets in there. Alrighty. Okay. These are a lot bigger than the ones. Maybe it was a little further on that coat, but I don't have much play on that one as much as I do on the other. So let's go ahead and take him down to about there. You always want to do your gas line first. Like you said earlier, but this is just to make sure everything's roughly in the position I want them. So that when I do my gas, I don't have to worry about where my water and all that's at. Okay. Alright, I can manage with that. Hard pipe on this one because it had a flexible gas piping in here, which I don't care for, and it can be extremely dangerous. Now that I got my valve in, I normally always work from my valve to my union and from my control valve back to the union. Ideally, it's nice to have a union right up front. So when you go to pop your heater apart, there's not a whole bunch of removing of gas line. Something else I always make sure I do is the part that has the captured nut is going to be on the gas line side, so that you don't have to deal with it on your losing it when you take your gas pipe apart to swap the heater. The new control valves and the old ones were always delicate on the back side. So when you tighten your gas line down, you're going to want to hold on to it to counter the pressure you're applying to it so that you don't end up breaking it. Sometimes I'll just kind of size them up by themselves, dry fit them. Make sure they're roughly lined up like I want them before I get sealant all over them. I'm comfortable with that. I'm going to go a little bit further, so as I tighten it down, it don't bring me, this one I think is going to bring me in too close, and this gas line can only go that way so much. So I'm going to switch it up, put a, I think it's a 4.5, might be a 5.5 nipple. So now the rest of it, we're going to start kind of dry fitting until we get it put together from the valve to the union. I'm putting a T in here because whenever you change direction of gas pipe from horizontal to vertical, you're required to put in a fitting to collect any dirt that may be pushed through the piping. We call it a dirt lake, so that's what it's going to end up being like. It looks like it might be too high for me. Shorter. I sure like to have that continuous, but tell you what, before I commit to putting a coupling, let me see. Let's go ahead and do that. That is nice. So what I'm going to do, right now I want this nipple right here. So instead of pulling this out, then pulling that out, I'm going to put this on this side and just unscrew and flip it. And again, you definitely should be using some kind of liquid pipe dope, because Teflon seals on a gas line are just not, in my experience, good. You can make them work, they will work, but once you know you're starting to get it really loose, we can take it out. hands. Go on and get you some pipe seal on there. Prepare yourself. Flip it around. Just gonna put it back in. I prefer to have that gas valve facing straight up. I guess if you want it, you could put it on its side. If I can move that easy with my hand, I feel I've got it too loose. Now we're going to remove the one that we had originally put in. Probably not tight enough to pipe wrench. Those quick connection lines are nice and easy, make things a little faster. But one of the reasons it can be dangerous is if your gas system is not properly grounded and should lightning strike, and you put a hole in that gas pipe and ignite it. I'll leave a link in the description below to show examples of that happening. Houses have been blown up, caught on fire, all kind of stuff. When I was doing new construction, we put a lot of gas tight in. That just happens to be the brand that we were using with the stainless steel gas piping. They have Ward Flex and several others. That gas tight just happened to be what we were using. And I liked it, it was nice. That danger factor, I don't know that I'd use it anymore unless I absolutely had to. And then of course if you properly ground the system, then it'll be fine, but I'd rather eliminate any potential problems and not even deal with having to go through and ground it. Sometimes going the old way isn't necessarily the bad way. It's old, it's proven the test of time, and know it works. Get all my fittings out of the way I'm using. I sure don't need a mix-up. Put the wrong one in place. So first we're going to go here. Need to get me one of them little tripods. Leave that thing sitting there on the tripod, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Lowe's would have those. We'll probably have to go to Walmart or
Wasn't there that
Best
place
Buy.
online that had them?
Oh, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I had one that was aluminum, but the kid had done something.
Or maybe I was thinking of the body cam holders that you were showing me.
Yeah. I'm gonna
So
get
maybe it's
one
not
of
a-
those Go Heroes body or whatever. Go Hero camcorders. Those are pretty bad to find.
I wonder if this had a time
Yeah,
stamp
it's like
on it.
183 minutes. Do. So about 2 hours and a couple minutes.
Oh, okay, so we've got,
Should be pretty
I was just trying to see about how long we,
Oh yeah, once we look at it and download, we'll know exactly. you can take 2 pipe wrenches and bottom these fittings out. And you'll be, you know, in good shape doing that. Gas line in our area only has ounces of pressure on it. Now these unions have a brass ferrule type of thing that's built into them for your seal. You can rely only on those, or you can put a little bit of pipe sealant inside here. I always suggest doing that. But just like other plumbing fixtures, no matter how many you put on the threads how much you put on the threads of that union, it ain't gonna matter. It's not gonna stop it from leaking, so you might as well not even put no sealant there. Gap there, nothing on the other side. And that would seal, but it's not completely like I like it. There we go. Now, when I tighten those unions, installed the way I had it, you're going to want to hold on to the other side, you're going to start turning everything else. Now, because we've had that whole gas line apart, there's going to be a lot of air trapped inside there. You can set and wait 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it's going to end up taking for your setup to get the the air all the way out. The only things I like doing is just giving it a quick on and off. And then get my dirt leg back on. Sometimes I'll do it right at the union. Okay, gas pipe is all done. Okay, so we got everything together, we might as well turn that on. Soap or bubbles or anything will work to test it. When it comes time to testing, you don't necessarily have to use leak detector. Some of the leak detectors are just that same type of chemical makeup with antifreeze in them so that they don't freeze.
And the nice thing is,
So now all we got left is dealing with our water now. Everything's lined up as good as it should be on the gas. So we'll have to do our drain for our pan. Get some, you always want to keep these unions, get them down to hand tight and then loosen them up just a quarter of a turn. You don't want that heat to get all over your rubber and melt it all up. piecing on here will melt fairly quick and easy. So I tend to start with my heat up high and then work it down onto that brass. It's already melting the flux. The rubber and the solder. So I try to do that joint as quick as possible. See how it's starting to bubble right there? It's because that heat's gotten too hot. And it's not cooling down, so I don't have to worry about a joint leaking. Looks like that all the way around, or at least the solder is all the way around it. Sometimes you can do it just by applying the heat all the way around. Sometimes you have to take your solder all the way around it. Okay. So shut this valve back off.